Hi, and welcome to your Science Review with Mr. Blaze podcast. Today I'm talking with Stephanie Raney. She's a chemistry teacher here with me at Jersey Village High School, and we're going to talk about technology in the classroom. Stephanie, introduce yourself, please.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Raney. I teach chemistry, AP Chemistry at Jersey Village High School in Houston.
And where'd you go to school?
I got my bachelor's from Texas A&M in College Station and my master's in chemistry from South Dakota State.
Oh, okay. And how long ago did you start teaching?
I started teaching in 2003, so 15 years ago.
Oh, sweet. All right, so today we're discussing specifically YouTube and its relation to classes nowadays. Now, you have essentially your entire Chem AP course up on YouTube. Now, why did you start doing YouTube?
Well, I actually started with a website in 2003 to put daily homework assignments online, so that the kids could go online and see. This was before cell phones. I mean, not really, but before the kids had cell phones, before the Remind app and all of that. So I would have essentially a Remind website. But then that morphed into my own personal website, and then that morphed into putting reviews online and putting online resources online, which then I kind of stopped putting daily assignments and started putting per unit assignments on the computer. And then from there I heard about Flipped Classroom in 2013, and I thought that sounded like...
Hold on a second. Explain Flipped Classroom to us.
Oh, well, Flipped Classroom has to do with flipping the way a traditional classroom is run. So instead of having the teacher lecture in class and have the students go home for homework, essentially the teacher's lecturing at home on a video and the students are doing the homework in class. And so the bonus of that is that in class they're able to do the actual practice problems and have the teacher there as a resource to ask questions. Okay. Most of the questions come from when they're doing their assignments on their own instead of when they're just listening in class.
Absolutely. And how has this affected your teaching what's the most significant way it's changed how you teach?
I think it makes it easier to organize what's happening in class. I think it makes it easier for the students to know what's going on. It gives them something they can go back and look at. It gives them something that they can hold on to, so that if they miss something...
Because they can rewatch your lectures over and over again.
Exactly. And so if they miss something, they can go back and rewatch the lecture. They can pause me. They can just repeat a specific part. So that helps, I think, especially when it's come to reviewing for tests and things.
Does it ever feel like watching tape on yourself, too? Do you ever watch some of your old ones and go, man, I don't say that this way anymore?
Sometimes it does, and I don't go back and re-edit them as much as I probably should. But yeah, sometimes it does. My video voice is not the same as my real voice. It's not at all.
Yeah, I was most surprised to find out how different my voice sounds. Do the kids like it?
I think the kids really do like it. It's actually pretty split. A lot of kids really appreciate it, especially when you go to that full flip format, that they appreciate that they can work together and ask questions in class. But then there's also some students who don't like that extra responsibility. Mm-hmm. They would rather not have to do that homework at home, and they would rather just sit in class and do nothing and just wait for the teacher to give them that information. So it puts a little bit more on the kids.
I feel like that's sort of what we as teachers are being taught is to shift accountability more to the students, and I personally have experienced some pushback on that, because now they can't just say, well, Mr. Blades or Miss Rainey doesn't teach anymore. I teach round the clock anywhere in the world. Exactly. And I can prove it. Do you think the kids learn better this way?
I think that it has the potential to help them learn better this way. Okay. But not necessarily that they do. It depends on how much effort and responsibility they want to put into it. So for those kids who are trying to not do anything, then they just watch those videos passively and they're not actually learning anything.
Fair, but you've been teaching with this for close to 14 years now, mm-hmm. So that's a statistically relevant sample. Mm-hmm. Over that course period, would you say that the amount of time and effort you've put into it is actually worth what you get out of it?
I absolutely think so. Even if it's just for those small number of students who are able to rewatch those videos. Mm-hmm. I even have college students emailing me saying that they've watched this particular video and that's really helped.
Okay. And what's your favorite thing about doing this?
Might be a little selfish. My favorite thing is that I can be absent on any day and I don't have to worry about what kind of sub is assigned to my class. I can make a video of myself teaching the lesson for the day and it'll be up there on the screen. And so the kids can't say that they didn't learn anything because the sub was there.
Well, and all that takes a little bit of creativity to say that it's not selfish, and instead, I want my kids to learn when I'm not there.
Right.
Personally, I actually find it incredibly useful when they're like, Mr. Blades, I wasn't here, and I go, is there no internet where you are? Mm-hmm. Did you fall into a cave? Was this like 127 hours or something? Because there was internet there. I know you have a phone. I see it every day. What do you wish you'd done differently from the beginning of your website or your YouTube channel?
I wish I had more time to organize it and make it a better organized place so it could be a better resource for students to go back and look through and try and find what they're looking for.
Okay. And especially our district has focused really hard on the Google resources. Mm-hmm. Have those been helpful and useful in increasing your organization with regard to this?
I haven't really gotten into the Google Classroom that the district has been pushing as much. When I do a flip class, I'm having them watch videos at home, and so then to try to do online assignments and then also watch online lecture videos makes it that you're not really doing a whole lot in class. Mm-hmm. And so I have them do those Google Classroom assignments in class, but then there's always technology issues, and we have some issues with that. So I haven't really gotten into the Google Classroom as much.
Okay. I asked because YouTube is a Google platform now.
It is.
At least for me, I can see that it looks more and more like Google Drive every day.
It does. It
so,
does.
Yeah.
I imagine it won't be many years before I can put my entire curriculum on Google Classroom.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten into it yet.
Yeah, I've been organizing mine into playlists with like checks for understanding in Google Forms in the descriptions.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And stuff like that. So, thinking ahead, what kinds of videos do you do now? Are they mostly lecture or are they problems? And in the future, I mean, because this isn't going away, in 10, 15 years from now, what kind of content do you think you'll be adding to your online classroom, not just videos, or including videos?
Right. Well, right now all I've got is my Chem AP classes online, so I really like to get my Chem 1 classes online, so that like all of my students can benefit from this rather than just a certain few. I'd also like to use more of that Google Classroom and use more of the, having the students being able to do those assignments and embed the videos within those assignments. Mm-hmm. My videos now are lectures and math problems and concept questions and all sorts of stuff, but it's just a play straight through video rather than a check for understanding in the middle of it.
Ah, fair. I have had pretty good luck with live streams before tests and quizzes where my students interact with me online and I can do problems. Normally I just point a camera straight down at a whiteboard, mm-hmm. and I've had some luck with that. How do you pair it in your classroom when you're there? Like, do you use video when you are there or just when you're not?
When I am in class. So sometimes we have labs, especially in AP chemistry, we have labs that take a long time. And so sometimes it'll be, watch these videos for your lessons, and we're going to spend all of this unit doing labs in class. And then sometimes it'll be, we're working assignment problems or working group problems or practice tests in class, then they have to do those lessons at home.
Okay. And I suppose we're sort of close to wrapping up. Now, some teachers have been a little reluctant to adopt technology in big parts. Do you see this as a disadvantage going forward in teaching? Like, do you think the teachers that are slower to adopt it are going to find themselves further and further behind?
I think probably so as we go into the future. This is what at least our district is really pushing, that the teacher is not really in charge of disseminating all of that information, but the students should be trying to find it themselves. The students should be working collaboratively, so we're no longer getting kids sitting in a rows and just staring up at the front board.
And what kind of advice would you offer to a teacher that maybe has a lot more experience than either one of us and has spent, longer than either one of us has been in the profession teaching straight out of a book and lecturing? Like, what would be your advice to them to sort of dipping a toe in and getting started embracing technology this way?
I think it would have to be just to start small and don't get overwhelmed if you can't get it all done in one go. Like, to say flip an entire curriculum takes an extremely long time.
Yeah,
but
I plan
you
on
could,
multiple years.
Right, multiple years. But you could, in 1 year, just in Google Classroom, just do a couple of Google Forms, and maybe once a week or every other week have the kids do a Google Form, and put those in your library, and then the next year keep those Google Forms, and then also add in a couple of, say, quizzes online, or a couple of Kahoots online, or maybe just add in one video when you're going to be absent rather than a whole library of videos, just to start small.
And have you seen what the kids watch on YouTube now? Like, is it even possible to make something that's more embarrassing than the stuff they already watch?
Absolutely.
I think some teachers are worried about like putting anything online that could be played over and over and over again when they're not there to defend it. You know, like, oh, I'm afraid I'm going to look funny and they're just going to pass it around. But I haven't experienced any of that.
No, I haven't either. But also, my face is not on my videos, so it's only my voice, and that's all right with me.
Oh, fair. Lots of ways to do it. All right. Thank you, Stephanie, for stopping by. This has been really cool. I hope somebody out there will find it helpful. So, hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in class. Say bye.
Right, bye.